growing up, I just did kind of what the American thing was to do, was go to church every Sunday. I began to look at my parents as such a source of stability. Quickly, my parents became almost like superheroes to me. People that could never seem to mess up and never seem to be flawed in my life. So coming into middle school, I slowly began to realize that my parents were just as human as I was, and with that, they had their problems as I had mine. My parents told my brother and I that they were going to be getting a divorce. They became much more human to me, and I had realized that I couldn't make their love a sole foundation in my life. I was kind of looking for a definition of love coming into high school. 8th grade to 9th grade was really hard for me because all of the things that I built my childhood on and built my hope in really kind of fell through. I felt very vulnerable, and the love that I thought I knew growing up quickly wasn't sustainable, and it couldn't be sustained through my parents. I was kind of seeking love from anywhere really where I could find it. I was invited to eat lunch with some interns from my best friend's church, and I was kind of blown away as to their desire to get to know me. They didn't know one fact about me the moment that I sat down, but they genuinely cared about me, and they invited me to come to Cottonwood, and I said yes. And so from that day, I started going that Sunday and then just kind of kept going. And so a couple months after, I was at a service, and they were preaching on why do we confess sin? And you can't really explain why you confess sin without explicitly sharing the gospel. And so as the Lord continued to open my eyes to his gospel, he that night really kind of laid upon my heart that I couldn't put any of those expectations that I had of my dad on him any further. The Lord just used that time to really show me what Jesus did, why he did it. I was living with my mom, and through that it became more apparent to me that she was struggling with alcohol. Being 14 and having to deal with that, you grow up really fast and you realize that life isn't going to be perfect. And so I kind of put my hope in almost my ability of helping her and providing a way out for her. That just fell through again, realizing that I'm out of control of everything. Then through the divorce and through high school, I was blessed with a group of friends from Cottonwood that loved me and that supported me through everything. But high school ended. When my friends graduated and moved off to college, I stayed here and went to school locally. I had realized that I had found a false sense of stability through them. Through this solitary time, the Lord continued to remain faithful and welcome me in with his gospel. The biggest theme within all three of these, with my dad, my mom, my friends, being able to maybe not have the most amount of knowledge on the storm that's going to be in front of me, but the one who's going to be with me in the storm is the best promise that I think we could ever have. All I can say is that through middle school and through high school, the Lord was at the end of the challenges and in the midst of them. When God put his son on the cross, that's where I found my perfect love. I wouldn't know the sweetness of his perfect love if he hadn't shown me why I needed it in the first place. My name's Mary Kate Douglas, and I am thankful for the gospel.